What is going on? Justin here from Native Watercraft. Today I've got the Slayer Propel 10 out in front of me. I'm going to be doing an installation on the lift line that comes with the new Springblade Rudder Kit. This rudder kit will retrofit into any Slayer Max model, Slayer 10, 13, the Titan series, or any Native Watercraft kayak that has a propel drive. In this video I'll be showing you specifically how to install the Springblade Rudder Kit lift line externally versus internally. This installation is going to be very similar to that of the Titan series, so if you own a 10, 12, or 13.5, this video is also for you. So I've already got the new rudder cap and Springblade rudder installed. If you would like full instruction on how to do that, you can check out one of our previous videos. I did a full installation on a Slayer Propel 12.5 Max. Those same instructions will carry over into the Slayer Propel 10. Since we are doing this on a Slayer Propel 10, we've got a 3-inch rudder shaft version. If you've got a Slayer Propel Max 12 or 10, you are using a 5-inch rudder shaft version. That's going to be the only differences between these two kits. Really the only thing that we have left in our hardware kit, we've got all the components needed to install our lift line externally. That first component would be the cleat that's going to be installed on the right hand side of the paddler there. And then I've also got all the hardware needed to install that. I've got 2 screws here. And then I have here 2 10/32 slider slugs. Got those there. So lastly here I have this little eyelet that's going to be installed on the right hand side of the boat just behind the paddler. This will be used to get the specter cord all the way back to the rudder and keep it out of the way of any gear that's in your kayak. And then you also have another slider slug. This one here is a 1/4-20. That's going to go with that eyelet as well. So the first step here, I'm going to take my 2 10/32 sliders. I'm going to install both of these. Just slide them into the center of the track, just like that. And then place the cleat directly on top. I've got my ridges facing towards the bow. You can either use a drill or a Phillips head screwdriver, doesn't really matter. It might be beneficial to grab a drill. I'm actually going to go ahead and do that now. All right, now we're in business. So I've got my drill here. I'm going to take it down, line up that first 10/32. Once that one's in, I'm going to line up my second 10/32. Now that both sliders are seated, you can kind of adjust accordingly to where you need it, depending on how far forward or back you are in the seat. And then now I'm going to come back towards the stern. We're still on the right hand side. I'm going to install our eyelet that's going to feed our specter cord nice and neat all the way down to the rudder cap. I'm going to take off this bungee first so we have access to our groove track. Slide that off. Once you've got that off, you can take your eyelet. We've got this little piece here that's going to screw on the threads of the eyelet. That's going to help tighten it down. And then once you've got that on, you can take your 1/4-20 slider slug here and then install that as well. And then I would probably recommend putting it dead center of the groove track. Just like that. Once you've got it to the desired location, you can twist it down, tighten it up. So I recommend here giving a slight turn to that eyelet. That way that specter cord has a little bit easier path to the Springblade rudder. So your lift line should already be installed. Again, if you want to see full instruction on how to install your new rudder cap and Springblade rudder, you can check out that full installation video that I did on the Slayer Propel 12.5 Max. I'm going to take my specter cord here. It's important that we feed it underneath the stern tank well bungee and then directly through the eyelet, and then we'll take all the slack and pull it up towards the bow. So last step here, I'm going to take the excess specter cord, I'm going to feed it through the cleat that we installed earlier. Again, this kit will fit on the Titan 13.5, so we gave you plenty of specter cord in order to fit that boat, so you've got a lot of excess here. Once you've got that fed through, you've got one more piece left in your hardware kit. We have our comfort grip T-handle here. I'm going to thread that through, just like that. Take all the excess down. And then once you've got all that excess through, we're going to tie a knot and then we'll be done with the installation. So in order for us to get the proper placement of our T-handle on the spectre cord, I'm gonna leave my rudder in the deployed position, releasing all the slack possible. And then I'm gonna take my T-handle all the way down, make sure it's nice and snug up against that cleat. And then I'm gonna tie a double knot here. I've got my T-handle where I want it. Now I'm just gonna get rid of the excess. I'm gonna cut it as close as I can to that knot, making it nice and flush. And then just gonna go over really quickly with some heat. Doesn't take much. Now let's check out the action. We are completely done with our installation on our lift line here on the Slayer Propel 10. Thanks for tuning in. Y'all be safe. We will see you on the water.